In some relief for WhatsApp, the government grants the messaging platform 3 additional days to respond to its notice on username feature issue. WhatsApp assures government it will not roll out the feature in India till talks conclude. Government plans to sell up to 5.04% stake in Cochin Shipyard via OFS, floor price fixed at 1,400 per share. Titan reports over 40% growth in consumer businesses in the first quarter, largely led by strong performance in domestic jewelry business. Other businesses such as eye care and watches also see over 20% growth. Moreover, international businesses more than double compared to last year. Steady start to the week on Dalal Street, with Nifty ending the day at 24,430 levels, the highest closing in nearly 10 weeks. Realty emerges as the top sectoral gainer. Dow hits 53,000 for the first time ever before giving up gains to trade marginally in the red. Meanwhile, smooth sailing continues for S&P and Nasdaq, with both indices comfortably trading in the green. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal shares updates on FTA with European Union. He says both the parties are working to complete legal scrubbing of the FTA document in the next 15 to 20 days. Hello and welcome to Business at 9. I'm Shibani Gharat. Now, Titan begins FY27 on a strong note. As per Q1 updates, the company has reported over 40% growth in consumer businesses in the last quarter, driven by strong performance in domestic jewelry business due to Akshaya Tritiya and wedding season. Other businesses such as eye care and watches also saw 20% growth. Moreover, international business more than doubled compared to last year. Now let's take a look at how the market fared today. Benchmarks ended higher for the fourth consecutive session, with benchmark indices extending their winning streak on the back of strength in the financial and metals. Nifty closed near 24,430 mark, while Nifty Bank Index outperformed, gaining over 0.6% as HDFC Bank and IndusInd Bank provided the biggest boost. The broader markets also remained firmly in the green. Nifty Small Cap Index extended its rally for a fifth consecutive session. Now, the government has announced an offer for sale in Cochin Shipyard, aiming to divest a base stake of 2.52% of the company's paid-up equity. An additional 2.52% stake will be available through a green shoe option if the issue sees oversubscription, taking the total offer size to 5.4%. Prakash joins us with more details on this.
Well, that's an important development coming in, as the government, in its effort to mobilize the funds through minority stake sale in CPSEs, has now decided to launch offer for sale in Cochin Shipyard Limited with a base offer of 2.52% of its paid-up equity, and it will also dilute an additional 2.52% as the green shoe option in case of oversubscription. That's an important development coming in. You are aware of the fact that government is not able to go ahead with the big transactions like IDBI and all, and therefore there is an alternative options to increase minority stake sale in select CPSEs. So the DIPAM secretary has mentioned that the floor price has been fixed at rupees 1,400 per share, whereas OFS opens for non-retail investors on 7 July, and it will be open for retail investors on 8th July. So this is something which is a very important development at this point in time. Government has already diluted minority stake in various CPSEs in last few months. Now it has decided to launch offer for sale in Cochin Shipyard Limited. Back to you.
Now, National Stock Exchange is set to begin its IPO investor roadshow next week, with meetings planned across India, Asia, West Asia, London and United States. Sources say NSE aims to raise at least 31,500 crore through an offer for sale. My colleague Anurag Joshi joins in with the details.
NSE will start its investor roadshow for the proposed initial public offering next week. The first leg of NSE's IPO roadshow will be in India and in Asia in July. And this will cover India, Hong Kong and Singapore. NSE will meet prospective investors in the Middle East, which includes Dubai, in London and the United States in August. NSE is planning one of the biggest initial public offerings so far from India. And the IPO size of 31,500 crore rupees, which is $3.3 billion, that could exceed the Hyundai IPO, which had come earlier. And the NSE is offering about 150 million shares in the IPO and is looking at a timeline of September or October to launch the IPO. The valuation, if we see that it's about 5.25 trillion rupees, that's $55 billion for the company as a whole. NSE is offering about 6% of its equity base in the IPO, and this is an offer for sale by the existing holders. To give you a short timeline, in January, NSE received a no objection certificate from Securities and Exchange Board of India to proceed with the IPO. Feb 6, NSE board cleared the IPO plan. March 12th, NSE appointed 20 banks to manage the IPO. On April 21, NSE, a SEBI panel approved a settlement of 1,800 crore rupees in the legacy co-location matter. June 18, NSE filed the DRHP with SEBI and the exchanges for the IPO.
Now, the insurance distribution ecosystem could be headed for a major overhaul. ET now has exclusively learned that IRDAI is examining insurance commission disclosures as a part of its upcoming distribution reforms. Anurag Shah joins us with this exclusive.
Insurance regulator IRDAI is all set to release consultation paper on distribution reforms, commission reforms by month end, and as per our sources, commission disclosures will also be part of the discussion paper because IRDAI is aiming for a higher transparency. So, large value non-retail policies will have commission disclosures on policy, which means amount of commission paid for that insurance policies will be disclosed for high value non-retail insurance policies. Other than that, effort-based commission will also be part of the distribution reform, which means that as per the effort, commission will be designed, means the commission for agents will be different, for brokers will be different, for bank assurance channel commission will be different because a regulator is aiming to make insurance affordable, and as per our sources, the regulator is of understanding that affordability can be brought in insurance sector with lower distribution cost. So discussion paper will be out in next few days by month end, and after that there will be a wider consultation. So the consultation will be for 3 to 4 months, and after input from all stakeholders, a new commission regulation, new distribution regulations will be implemented most likely from 1st of January or from 1st April 2027.
Now, the Food and Safety Standards Authority of India has issued show-cause notices to several food companies over allegedly misleading product labels and marketing claims, including terms such as fresh, 100% organic, all natural and boost immunity. Companies have been asked to respond within 7 days, while Heritage Food is, in its response to the regulator, has defended its use of the term fresh paneer, saying it accurately describes the product. It is widely accepted industry practice and is not intended to mislead the consumers. The company has sought withdrawal of the show cause notice. Kuldeep reported earlier with more details.
Well, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has issued notices to multiple food business operators over misleading claims. The FSSAI has issued notice to Heritage Foods Limited over Heritage Fresh Paneer. As per the notice, that the company has been using the term fresh in branding its paneer, which according to the FSSAI is in violation of the Food Safety Act of 2006. Similarly, the notice has also been issued to Dia Foods over the La Casa vegan hazelnut chocolate spread. In the packaging of this product, the company has been using the terms like 100% organic and all natural, which as per the FSSAI, these terms are being used by the company without obtaining the required certificates for that. The FSSAI has also issued notice to SipZer over its juice capsules. On the juice capsules, the SipZer has been claiming that these are FSSAI approved and boost immunity and remove toxins from your body. However, FSSAI has observed that there is no scientific study has been done to substantiate these claims, and thus the FSSAI has issued notice to all these food business operators and sought explanation within 7 days that why any action should not be taken against them.
Now, sources say that IT Ministry has granted some time to WhatsApp to reply on notice over the username feature and security concerns over it. Sumita gets us more details on that.
That's right. We're given to understand from sources that WhatsApp has gotten more time to respond to the government's notice, which was related to its username feature. And now, of course, we're given to understand that 3 days more of an extension has been granted by the government to WhatsApp to sort of explain the reasoning behind the feature, because remember, the government's concerns were related to impersonation, spam on the app, and of course digital identity fraud, digital theft, and of course other digital crimes at large that the government thought would be associated with this feature, and it will lead to more cyber crimes on the platform. In fact, WhatsApp in its defense stated that there are mechanisms on the app to sort of crack down on any such activity which is automatically tracked by technology that's embedded within the app. Now, we're given to understand that with the time extension, WhatsApp has also told the government that they're not going to be rolling out the feature until consultations on the matter are complete. And of course, their response is to the satisfaction of the Indian government. In fact, it's not just WhatsApp. The government of India also sent out a notice to Telegram and Signal for similar features on the app. But what we're given to understand is that Telegram and Signal, they were granted a longer period of time to sort of respond to the government's notice. So, of course, this is the very latest as far as the WhatsApp username feature controversy is concerned. It was getting a lot of criticism from many quarters because it could lead to digital identity thefts.
Now, Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has stated that legal scrubbing of India-EU FTA documents will be done in the next 15 to 20 days. The minister is also expected to travel to Europe next week. Let's listen in.
You're today a $4.5 billion exporting industry. But I do believe with these various FTAs that we have finalized, which cover developed nations, which are opening the doors to developed nations, 38 developed countries. The UK FTA will come into force on 15 July itself. The EU FTA, and yesterday I had a chat, even though it was a Sunday, I had a very good conversation with my counterpart in the EU at Brussels, and we are working together to complete the legal scrub in the next 15-20 days. I'm meeting him on 14th and 15th of July in Brussels, along with a delegation of business persons. We are going to Brussels, Spain, Brussels, and Finland, because we've already started marketing Indian products, goods, and services. We have already started taking our business delegations so that we are future ready. We are ready to get the best out of the FTAs that we have finalized, the new markets in developed nations that have been opened up for your sector.
Now, Prime Minister Modi has landed in Indonesia for the first leg of his three-nation tour. His visit to Indonesia, Australia and New Zealand is aimed at strengthening India's Indo-Pacific strategy, defence cooperation, critical minerals trade, digital partnerships and strategic ties are expected to dominate discussions. Sumita reported earlier what to watch out for.
That's right. The Prime Minister is going to be on a three-nation tour amidst an Act East policy push, defence, economy, strategic Indo-Pacific ties. All of them are going to be in focus. So the first leg of his visit is going to be to Indonesia, starting today till the 8th of July. He's going to be engaging with his Indonesian counterpart, or rather the President of Indonesia. And then he moves on to Australia from the 8th till the 10th of July, wherein he's going to be holding talks with his Australian counterpart, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. He's going to be also addressing a forum of CEOs at the India-Australia CEO Forum, engaging with the Indian diaspora in Australia. And then the last leg of his visit is to New Zealand from the 10th till the 11th of July. Remember, this is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to New Zealand in nearly 4 decades. So he's going to be holding talks with his New Zealand counterpart, Christopher Luxon, reviewing bilateral ties between India and New Zealand. Because remember, India and New Zealand signed an FTA in 2026 earlier this year. And then, of course, there's going to be interaction with the business community as well. Now, if we talk about the first leg of his tour, which is to Indonesia, remember, Indonesia is India's largest trading partner in the ASEAN group. There's going to be a focus on BrahMos missile system because it's been a matter of discussion in the Indonesian parliament. There are going to be talks around, investments in food processing, fertilizers and strategic reserves. Deals are likely to happen in the spaces of pharma, health, education space, and of course, critical minerals. Now, when we talk about critical minerals, well, Indonesia possesses some of the world's largest reserves of nickel, amongst other critical minerals. And of course, nickel as an element is essential for EVs, for batteries, for advanced manufacturing and processing facilities. And of course, it's going to give a boost to supply chain. So, of course, a whole spectrum of segments are in focus.
Now, ahead of Prime Minister Modi's Australia visit, the Australian High Commissioner to India, Philip Green, says the leaders are expected to closely review opportunities in energy trade and discuss safeguard agreements related to uranium supply, with Australia viewing India as a trusted and reliable long-term partner. Let's listen in.
This visit happens at a particular time in global economic developments when both Australia and India have been affected by the Gulf crisis and the absence of movement through the Strait of Hormuz, which hopefully we're coming through now. But that has thrown attention for us on our energy partnership.
Right.
Australia benefits from energy exports from India. India benefits from coal and liquid natural gas from Australia. And I think that's an area where the leaders will look, given the crucial situation that we find ourselves in. We've had a safeguards agreement on nuclear supplies for 12 years. And I think the leaders will have some discussion over that. But beyond that, we think that the bilateral energy security conversations are very important at this point, where all of us are focused on supply chains. And let me put it this way. Australia sees in India a reliable partner,
yes,
strategically and for trade. And so if we can strengthen the way in which we do business on energy, that's going to be good for both of us.
On that note, it is time for us to slip into a very short break. You don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Business at 9. I'm Shubhani Gharat. Now, government's bid to promote and push E20 fuel has ran into a hurdle in the last few days, with social media posts claiming that ethanol blended fuel damages engines and substantially reduces mileage. Government has attempted to quell the fear-mongering with the support from the auto industry. Automakers like Maruti, Hiromoto and Toyota have put their weight behind the E20 and testing analysis. Let's listen into what they said.
Standard fuel that will be available, and it is compatible with old vehicles and new vehicles. All vehicles sold after 1st of April 2023 are fully materially compliant with E20, and people need to be reassured that in 2021, before we went into E20, there was a very detailed scientific study done by the most leading automobile testing agency in the country, which is ARAI. It clearly established that the possible damage to cars and two-wheelers which are old is not there. It's very insignificant.
23 manufactured and sold before 2023, which was primarily designed for E10, what if E20 fuel is used on them? That's probably the central question which needs to be addressed. As Mr. Gulati said, the industry is very robust in design, testing, validation, certification, and even post-certification, checking conformity of production through the life of the model. And in that design methodology, let me mention to you that we have sufficient factors of safety that take care that there is no problem in terms of wear and tear, corrosion, or damage to the life of the car or the parts that come in contact with the E20 fuel if E20 is used on cars that were produced and sold in India before 2023. As a manufacturer, we have tested E10 cars which were prevalent before 2023 on E20 fuel for all parameters.
The US President Donald Trump has once again struck a hardline tone on Iran, reviving concerns over renewed political tensions in West Asia. Trump said the United States would either reach a deal with Iran or finish the job, while stressing his preference remains a diplomatic resolution. Trump also claimed that Iran is under severe financial pressure, adding that Washington has not provided the country with any financial relief. Let's listen in.
Look, we're going to win one way or the other. We're either going to make a deal or we're going to finish the job, okay? And it won't be tough to finish the job. I'd rather make a deal because I don't want to affect 91 million people. We can knock down their bridges in 1 hour. We can knock out their energy supply, all of those big plants that they built, big, beautiful, modern plants. They had a lot of money. They don't have any money now. We haven't given them any money. But we can knock out their electricity and power generating plants in, I would say, a small part of an afternoon. Every plant will be gone. And they know that. They know that.
Now let's take a look at the global markets. Wall Street has kick-started the new trading week on a strong note, with technology stocks once again taking the lead. Nasdaq Composite is climbing around 1%, while S&P 500 is also trading higher. Dow Jones has briefly crossed the 53,000 mark for the first time ever during the session before paring gains to trade lower. The rally is led by semiconductor and technology stocks. The technology select sector ETF is gaining more than 2%. Attention now shifts to the Federal Reserve, with markets awaiting the minutes of the June policy meeting, the first chaired by Kevin Warsh. With equities hovering near record highs, the Fed's commentary is expected to be a key catalyst for market direction in the days ahead. Now, Microsoft has laid off around 6,400 jobs as a part of restructuring. About half of the layoffs will impact its Xbox gaming division, with company also divesting 5 game studios. Microsoft says the move is aimed at positioning Xbox for the long-term success, adding that the eliminated roles are not being replaced by AI and that more organizational changes are likely ahead. Now, Lockheed Martin is making a major push into the naval defense, announcing its $3.45 billion acquisition of Ultra Maritime from private equity firm Advent. Now, Ultra Maritime is leading specialist in anti-submarine warfare and advanced sonar technologies, and will be integrated into Lockheed's rotary and mission system division. The acquisition comes as defense spending accelerates globally, driven by the conflicts in Ukraine and Middle East, along with the proposed $1.5 trillion U.S. defense budget for 2027. The round 16 is underway at the FIFA World Cup, and the knockout stage has already produced its share of surprises. France booked their quarter-final spot with overcoming Paraguay, while Morocco stunned co-host Canada. The biggest upset, however, came as Norway knocked out five-time champions Brazil, with Erling Haaland once again proving the difference. Off the pitch, controversy stole the headlines after FIFA overturned Folarin Balogun's red card suspension, making him available for USA's clash against Belgium following a review requested by Donald Trump. Attention now shifts to another blockbuster day, with USA taking on Belgium, defending champions Argentina facing Egypt, and the headline clash of round 16, Portugal versus Spain. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Business at 9. Goodbye from me, Shabani Gharat, and the entire team of ET Now.